Okay, so we have a complaint of some water leaking in the irrigation valve box. I took the lid off the box here, and lo and behold, it is filled with water. So I've removed the soil around the perimeter of the box. The box perimeter will actually lift right out. You can see where it's cut, notched for the PVC line, the main line. Now when I removed the soil in here, I had to be very careful not to cut any of these lines in here. I went down just far enough to remove the soil but not nick the lines with the shovel. So anyway, now I've got the valves in a muddy, kind of a mucky mess. Now I need to go ahead and dig out more soil. I've exposed the valves. Just go ahead and leave the wiring alone. There's really no need to mess with the wiring in most cases unless you're handling an electrical problem. The problem I'm finding here after digging up, I don't know if you can see it, but right there is a leak. The leak is occurring basically at the manifold upstream from the valve. So there's a small piece of pipe in here that's glued. Now that's pretty solid because glue typically doesn't leak. But threads, that's where you're going to have some possible leakage. The glue becomes as strong as the plastic, whereas the thread always remains a weak link. This connection right here is also leaking. The bottom line is I'm not coming in from this side. I'm going to come in from this side, and it shouldn't cost the customer more than $20 in parts to do it this way. Now I did nick this 3/4 inch lateral line here with the saw, unfortunately, so I have a 3/4 inch coupler coming, a 1 inch coupler right here. So I'll repair this 3/4 inch lateral first, and then I'll go ahead and reassemble the 1 inch manifold and glue it all together, turn the water back on, and hope that there is no more leaks. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and thread in the bushing, putting on Teflon tape, a minimum of 3 rotations, maybe a little more. If you think you're going to have some leaking, I'm going to go about 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to thread this in here, and I'm going to see how it feels. Is it really tight? It's not really tight. It's getting tight about halfway in, so I probably have enough Teflon tape on. I don't want to overdo it. I've actually split a valve before, and I'm using homeowner's tools and 2 adjustable wrenches will just fine. Okay, and I'm gonna just go as far as I can without going too far. And the tension feels pretty good. It feels snug. I've got a few more rotations to go. It's getting really tight, so I feel like I'm gonna have a good seal. Okay, good. You know, I feel good about that. That was really snug. Okay, that adapter is now threaded on there, and I believe that it won't leak like it did before. So I'm assembling the manifold, basically one fitting at a time. I've already got the stubs cut and inserted into the T, ready for insertion into this T and in this adapter. And I've got play on these, you know, there's some play here, so luckily, you know, I can do it this way. I mean, it can be really tricky, but this manifold's pretty generic. Everything gets a layer of primer and then a layer of glue all the way around inside, all the way around, all the way around the outside, all the way around the outside. I have very limited time. I'm going in and in. Okay, so everything has been put back together. The manifold has been rebuilt. I've got a drain down at the end there to empty in the wintertime. Also, just to flush out the main line. It's always good to have some kind of an outlet just to at least flush out the line. And then down here we've got the coupler, where I had to splice on the new manifold, and then also the 3/4 inch coupler underneath here, where I accidentally cut the lateral line when I was cutting this main line. And so anyway, I'm looking at this thing. The water is on. It's under pressure. They're tight. I'm not seeing any water at all dripping. So this is a successful job.